All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We're talking about the Green Bay Packers in today's video. This team is officially back. This offense is firing on all cylinders. Jordan Love looks really freaking good. A lot of people were assuming this was kind of going to be the week where the Packers offense, now with a healthy Jordan Love, kind of reestablishes themselves as one of the best teams in the National Football League. The defense, 3 takeaways once again. This was a complete and utter domination football game, 34-13 at home against the Arizona Cardinals, a young, hungry football team. They really, at no point in the game, maybe except for like right before halftime ended, had a single chance at like literally any point. The Packers dominated. They really did. This team is so unbelievably legit, and I was so annoyed last week because 7 days ago I make a victory recap video for my Green Bay Packers talking about the 24-19 win against the Rams on the road, and there were so many people nitpicking that win, and it's just like, dude, enjoy the win because a win is a win. Could you imagine if the Packers lost that game? This game would have been like, if you look at the NFC North, kind of a must win. I know we're in week 6, but you get the point here. The Green Bay Packers, folks, even with a banged up Jordan Love, are currently 4-2. This defense looks like one of the best defenses I have seen since, I don't mean the Super Bowl year, but like since that Super Bowl era. Joe Barry has never had a defense through 6 weeks play like they have been playing. And Jordan Love is finally fully healthy, it looks like. So, folks, welcome back to the channel. We're obviously talking about my Green Bay Packers. Die-hard cheesehead over here. Hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. If you could try and get this video to 340 likes for the 34 points, that would mean the absolute world to me. So let's dive in here. Dominated the line of possession, 36 minutes to Arizona's 23 minutes. They had 27 first downs. They went 7 of 12 on third down efficiency. They had 437 total yards of offense. They only gave up 303. We'll talk about that towards the end of the video here. Jordan Love had a phenomenal game. The running back room did its job. Red zone efficiency, only 2 of 4. But guys, the most important thing, honestly, to me for this entire week, like what we saw from today's game, was not as many penalties as we have seen. Right? Arizona was shooting themselves in the foot left and right. They had 13 penalties for 100 total yards. The Green Bay Packers did have 5 penalties for 40 yards. But just, it was more so, honestly, earlier on in the football game, the Packers have been really hurting themselves with stupid pre-snap penalties, pass interference, whatever you want to call it. The Packers' penalties have been horrid in the first 5 weeks of the season. So it's great to see. I know 5 penalties for 40 yards isn't perfect, but if you watch that football game, I never really had any annoyance, maybe outside of a couple of plays about penalties just in general. So let's look at this offense real quick. Jordan Love's officially back, man. He didn't need to do anything too crazy, especially, being up 24-10 at halftime. They scored in all 4 quarters, 22 of 32, 258 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 interception. And I think a really good representation of why there's no clear wide receiver number 1 on this team is because all of the wide receivers, in my opinion, I know I'm a little bit biased, are absolute studs. It could be Christian Watson 1 week. It could be Romeo Doubs 1 week. It could be Tucker Kraft 1 week like it was last week. It could be Jaden Reed. It could be anybody. Today, we saw Christian Watson make his return, 3 catches, 68 yards, and a 44-yard touchdown. Welcome back. Romeo Doubs, also welcome back, coming back from that suspension. Kind of hard to explain this unless you saw it. You'll see it on Twitter. I don't think I can play it. Romeo Doubs had a phenomenal game, by the way. 3 catches, 4 targets for 49 yards and 2 touchdowns. Romeo's first touchdown, no celebration. He went to all of his teammates and just hugged them. Literally just straight up hugged them. That is the perfect representation of Romeo Doubs, not only, just taking accountability. He said earlier, or a couple of days ago, that he wished he handled it in a different way. The amount of maturity is unbelievable. All of his teammates, all of the Packers offensive player rejoicing in him, giving him hugs back, high-fiving him, doing their thing, tapping the helmet. And it was just such a wholesome moment about how much this Packers team truly does believe in Romeo Doubs. And 3 catches, 49 yards, 2 huge touchdowns. His second touchdown against Sean Murphy-Bunting, a 50-50 ball. Jordan Love's fighting. He was scrambling for his life, just kind of chucks up a ball at the end zone. Dobbs makes a phenomenal football play, and he just had a really good game. And it's just so good to have Romeo Dobbs back because I love his humbleness. I love his football talent. Romeo is so critical to this Packers offense. So welcome back, baby. Ben Sims, as a Tucker Kraft starter in fantasy football, I was a little upset about this, but as a Packers fan, loved it. Luke Musgrave on IR right now, 2 catches, 38 yards for Ben Sims. Quieter game for Jayden Reed, 6 catches, 28 yards, but he did have that first quarter touchdown. Josh Jacobs, 3 catches, 28 yards. Emmanuel Wilson, a catch for 19 yards. Tucker Kraft, 2 catches, 16 yards. Bo Melton, 1 catch for 6 yards. Dontayvion Wicks, 1 catch for 9 yards. So, I mean, I'm not great at math here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different receivers for Jordan Love this afternoon. Real quick on the run game, Emmanuel Wilson had a phenomenal game. 7 carries, 54 yards, averaging 7.7 yards per carry. Josh Jacobs, quieter game as far as yardage goes. 18 carries, 62 yards, 3.4 yards per carry. But he definitely made plays when he needed to. And he's just getting first downs. Josh Jacobs was just literally doing what needed to be done. We also saw a couple of runs from Bo Melton. We saw a nice little tush push for Tucker Kraft later on in the football game. I loved the offensive creativity this afternoon against Arizona. Now let's talk about this defense. Quay Walker, 11 total tackles. Jair Alexander had a fumble recovery. Carl Brooks had a forced fumble and fumble recovery. Kenny Clark had a fumble recovery. Only one of those was on Only one of those was on the Arizona Cardinals. Javon Bullard with another great game, 7 total tackles. Cooper quickly becoming the most slept-on rookie defensive player in the National Football League. He had a great game, 7 total tackles. Xavier McKinney, unfortunately, no interceptions today, but he still's got 5 on the season. He had a good game. Evan Williams, man, fellow rookie with Cooper and Bullard. This guy's a stud. And the announcers were saying about this too. And, if you're a Packers fan or if you paid attention during the summer, during OTAs, rookie minicamp, all that fun stuff, Evan Williams got so much hype this entire summer. And it has literally translated since day one in his rookie season. We're 6 games into the year. Evan Williams makes plays. Unbelievably critical forced fumble this afternoon. He is an absolute stud. And now I've got McKinney. I've got Bullard in the nickel. I've got Evan Williams. Like, this defense, folks, it is literally completely revamped. The only issue I had with the Packers this afternoon were there were no sacks. Now, just in general, it is relatively difficult to sack Kyler Murray. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you guys for watching. Just kind of a quick, rapid reaction to this Packers game. We'll talk about it a little bit more in depth either tomorrow or Tuesday. So stay tuned. Hit that like button. Hit that sub button if you guys haven't already. But, folks, give me your player of the game for the Green Bay Packers down below. Let's go enjoy this victory. Peace.